Okay, so here we are for another video. On this video, it's going to be the first in the series of mobile phone gold from mobile phone. So it's showing people how I go from a mobile phone, just your regular old mobile phones. I just have a variety of them here, different ones, and where I get the gold at the very end. So what on the board has gold and stuff like that. I've already done a video on taking mobile phones apart, but I said I'd do this again, this time in a series. So I'll start off with the mobile phones, take them apart, and then we'll go just have a quick look on where the gold is on the boards, and then we'll process the stuff that I take off the boards, what I take off the boards and stuff like that. So first off is just a normal mobile phone. So if you haven't already hit the old subscribe button there, guys, please do. Also keep an eye up around the top here for little videos popping up every so often, so you can check out other videos on different stuff I've done. So I'll start off with just a regular Nokia, or Nokia as some people call them. So I just take off the batteries. So all I do straight away is to separate the batteries, and I'll put these batteries separate. So as you can see already, there's a little bit of gold here on them, little gold connectors. So I'll show you in a later video on the batteries, on what I do with them. So we're just starting off with the mobile phone. So this is our mobile phone, and as you can see, we have some gold contacts here, and we also have some gold contacts here, and we'll have some under where the SIM card was. So that's kind of it there really on it. We'll just take it a bit further apart. So these are little T screwdrivers, little Torx that's in them. So we'll just loosen these out. So as I was saying in previous videos, that I might decide, I'm deciding to do a few lives coming up. I've actually moved house, so I'm in a house where I have a spare room where I'm going to set up a little live studio for doing some live videos. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so I'll have that done. Also I hope to get a lot more videos done, especially more outside videos, because I have a bit more opportunity to do it now with the acids. So I have a few videos on the go at the moment there. I have some gold fingers soaking in hydrochloric acid at the moment, and peroxide to take off things. So that's coming in future videos. So I've already started the series on gold recovery from RAM fingers, RAM boards. So check out that video if you want to see what I'm up to so far on it. And hopefully some of them videos coming soon. So usually there's another 2 screws hidden under the cover, so I just need to remove the cover. So we'll just take that, it's just plastic, and we should have underneath here, I should have more screws. So there we are, just underneath here is the other 2 screws. So we'll just take them off. I'll also show you a little video soon of my setup in my shed, where I have my fume hood and stuff like that, and the little setup I have. So I just need to push these out. Usually they clip out somewhere. Are we missing a screw? No, they should come out. Here we go. Just needs a little persuasion, in case it's been held on here. It's actually this little area that's holding it at the moment. Let me just see if I can get it above it. Oh yeah, sorry, 1 screw in the center here that I missed. So that's it, just in here. So that'll release that. So again, you'll have a little bit of brass, stuff like that, so little brass screws on there. If you want to remove them, put them with your brass, and you'll have a little bit of, sometimes this is gold flashed here, and other times it's just copper or brass, so you can check that out separately. So this is the main board off the Nokia phone. So again, I'll just remove these from here. This shows the gold. So again, we have some, you can see the gold flashing, or engineered gold. It's very thin, So that's just a connector for your screen. Sometimes that may have gold connectors on it, but this one doesn't. So we have the gold here, and you can see all the gold flashing along here, and there's some LEDs as well which can contain gold. On the back again we've gold. So again, in future I'll remove, in another video you'll see me removing on some of the boards, I'll remove this green masking to see if it is actually gold under it or is it just copper or whatever. So that's one part of the board. So that's one board, and then the other board we have, again we'll have our gold flashing on the board, and we also have our, just remove this. So again we have our gold here, so again they can be removed, and future videos you'll see me dealing with them. This video is just showing you the boards, a breakdown of the boards, showing you how to get them out. So again we have gold connectors here, which you'll see in future I'll deal with. And again we have some MLCCs, and we have the IC chips, which I will deal with again. We have I don't know what that connector is, so if anyone knows what that is, if there's any precious metal in it, or just see, can I get it to focus, let me know. Tantalums, so we have a few tantalums on it. And the other side we have a looks like ceramic crystal oscillators. So we have one here, one here, one here. Sometimes they will contain gold as well as silver, and you might have a bit of platinum in some of them as well. Again, MLCC smaller versions. Camera, so again under that camera sometimes, or is that the camera? It looks like it, yeah. So we'll have a little bit of gold underneath there. Again, gold connecting pins here, MLCCs, and a bigger IC chip and another tantalum by the looks of it. So that's it on them. So that's that board. We'll go to a little flip phone here from Motorola. So again, most times I snap off this in two, because this is the screen. I don't really do much on the screen, so I just snap them off like that and I put them aside, and at a later date I'll probably deal with them separately. There can be little connectors in there. So then this is the main board, again is on here. So again I have a quick look to see if I can see what type of screws is on it. So again it seems to be very small torque screws. So we'll just remove them. So I hope everyone is doing alright out there, and I hope everyone's enjoying my videos. I have a few bits that for Snobby Scrap Picker and Raphael Scrapper that I need to get out in the post, guys. I haven't forgotten about you, it's just with me moving house. The full move will be completed later on this week, hopefully, and then I'll be able to get more onto the stuff, get the stuff out to you. If you haven't checked out their sites, lads, check them out. Let them know that the Scrapping Irish sent you over. Give them a bit of your watch time if you're into the scrapping. These guys are into scrapping, so just check them out. And just sometimes underneath here can be a little screw as well, so we'll just have a look. Doesn't want to come out too easy, which is always a sign there's something hidden. Oh, well, maybe not. So again, just a bit of plastic with some steel underneath, and again we have some little gold connectors. So again, I will deal with them in later videos, and again you can see the gold flashed here as well. So for future videos that's going to be on. So this is a little bit of the board that has come apart from the rest of it. So as you can see underneath here, there seems to be gold. There is, so we just remove that. So again we have our gold flashing with a few little connectors. So I'll show you how I can remove them connectors in later videos. A little battery here, so if you're going using a heat gun, make sure you remove them batteries, you don't want them exploding on you. Again, little connectors. Another little connector that came off. So again, they can have little gold pins inside, a bit awkward to get out, but a little bit of gold flashing on the back of this ribbon. And we're into the rest of the board now. Let me have a look and see if there's any more screws holding it. Don't seem to be, so that should just flip out, and it does. So again, a little bit of plastic with a little bit of flashing, so that you can remove that again if you want, and put that in with your ribbons or your whatever. So again, there's just two little screws in here, so I might as well remove them and get rid of the plastic. So the less plastic around it. So again, if you have nowhere getting rid of your plastic, make sure you put it into recycling or something like that. Try and do a bit for the environment. So I'll put that aside and I'll remove them gold little connectors later. So you can see there's another one down here and there's two of them here. So we'll have a look at the board. So again, more plastic or rubber this time. And again, we have a little bit of protector over the connectors. So usually underneath there will be gold. So you can see it there. Then we have the gold flashing again where the connectors make contact. So when you're hitting the buttons, it helps to make a better contact, and it's more reliable than if they weren't gold flashed. So that's kind of it. Just have a look here, two small little gold pinnings there, a little bit of gold flashing, another gold pin here, and on the back we have, usually underneath here would be our IC chips. I'll just see if we can remove a little bit of this so you can get a look under it. No. So again, I'll show you in a future video what I do with that. So again, I'll put them with the rest of the mobile phones. So we'll have a look now and see what else we have here. We have another, this is a Sony Walkman, or Sony Ericsson Walkman I think it was called, or whatever it was called. So again, we'll have our battery usually in under here. So we'll just have a look and see if there's a battery first. Just remove that if there is. There is a battery, and this one has actually a SIM card and stuff like that in it, so we get the bonus of the SIM card, which will have a little bit of gold on them. So that's another thing that you have to look for. And there seems to be a memory card in this one, so if the memory card is worth selling, you can sell them on eBay, but most of the time they're not. So again, I'll put that battery separate for future video, and you can see here where the gold is on that. Take out my SIM card. So SIM card, you can see the little gold. So again, I'll put that in with my SIM cards that I have collected up on mobile phones. So in future, you'll see where I get the gold. So again, when I'm doing mobile phones, I do everything. The SIM cards, a lot. So again, this is a little memory card, and it's a 256 megabytes, which you will not sell. I wouldn't have use for it. It wouldn't store enough video. So I'll put that into recycling. So again, the gold pins down here, I will deal with them. And plastic, get rid of it. And now we have a look at the rest of the phone. So just having a quick look to see what type of screws. These seems to be just regular little Phillips screws is in here. And again, a lot of the time if I can snap this off to separate them, I will, but sometimes it can be difficult. So we'll just get a screwdriver out. Not too big. I hope I have small ones. If I don't, we'll just leave it aside and we'll move on to another one, because I don't want to waste too much time on them. I want to move on to other videos that I'm working on. So I just said quickly do a quick video, but I don't think I want to do that. So I'll leave that aside and go to another phone. We'll see what else I have here. So this one I've already taken the cover off so you can actually see. So underneath here you can see the gold flashing. And we'll just get a screwdriver. Ooh, and these are special screws again. So you can see there that they have a special tri-head. Now again, because I'm moving house at the moment, a lot of my equipment is put away in boxes, so I'm not going to go ripping them out. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to come back when I have maybe I'll just have a look at this one actually to see what screws are underneath this one first. So again, a little bit of plastic. Here is our battery. So sometimes these newer batteries you can sell them on eBay if they're in working condition. So I'll have to find a charger, charge up these and check it. And if it's in good condition, I'll have a look online and see what they're going for. If it's worth selling, I'll sell it on eBay. If not, it'll go into my recycling for gold recovery. Now again, these ones have the little torque screws, so we'll go on to them. So if you're new to the channel, check out some of my other videos. Make sure you subscribe, and so that you get the latest on upcoming videos, especially now in the next while. There's going to be a lot of the working with the acids coming up soon. As I said, some of them videos take a bit longer to do because you have to have a different setup and you have to make sure that it's done right. Again, with me, I keep harping onto this when we're moving house. I didn't want to start any real acid work because you have to leave it, and next minute you're moving house, so you're not going to be able to transport the acid too easy in open buckets. So let's just see what fell off here first when I shook it. So again, we have a little bit of gold contact in there, so you can see them here, very small, but they're all count, so I'll put them in a minute. So this will be the last phone I'm going to take apart for this video anyhow, because you can check out my other ones where I've taken phones apart as well if you want to see more of them. Check out some of my other videos on computers, laptops, what goes in laptops. You want to, it's amazing the amount of stuff that has gold content in them that people throw away. Printers, very smaller amount in printers. Again, I've done some on a printer if you want to have a look, but there is some in there. Now, have we screws are out, and one down here. It's loose but not out yet. Might be able to open it even though it's not fully out. So again, just have a look under that to make sure. Yeah, so we have another bit of gold contacts. So again, I'll put that and take them off and deal with them. And I just need to remove this bezel. So we'll quick look at the bezel. Nothing on it, and even these I haven't got the gold contacts. Usually they'd have a bit of gold contact, but they don't. Put that aside, and we'll have a look now and see. So we have another screw hidden here. And that seems to be it on that board, so we'll just take that board off first. So I hope you join me when I do my first live video. It'd be good to have a few people. I'll just be taking stuff apart, talking about scrap, what other people take from stuff, what they find isn't worth taking. Also, Mr. Ian Matthews. When I have a few more videos there, I want to prove that I'm not just only dealing with gold recovery. I also do general scrapping, so brass and stuff like that. So I have a bit of brass work that I'm working on, so I might do a video for Ian on that, because he's big into the general scrap, into your brass, your copper, stuff like that. So just having a look at this, doesn't seem to be much on it. Again, I'll have some, if I can pull this apart, I can, just to show you. And under here we'll have some gold connectors. So they're just little gold pins. So again, you can see that in the future where I deal with them. There'll be gold connectors under here, and there was a little bit of gold flashing here on this, and that's about it. Sometimes underneath this, if I can remove it, if it'll come off easy, but it won't. There can be a little bit of gold under here, but it doesn't seem to be on this. No. Okay, so we'll put that aside. Have a look at the rest of the board. So again, we have a camera, so that'll have gold connectors in here, and also under here. When you remove this, there will be gold connectors under there usually, and again in future videos I'll do a bit more on that, so I'll put that aside for the moment. So you have a little bit of gold flashing, you can see it around the board. Gold connectors, little IC chips, more gold connectors. On the other side, again, we have gold flashing, and underneath here, when I remove this cover, will be some small IC chips and stuff like that. So, and little MLCCs, all that kind of gear. So again, they all contain gold. So even though it's a small amount, they all add up over time. Now let's have a look at the bottom part of the board. So again, we have a little bit of gold under here, just the lighting is reflecting too much off it to see it properly, but you can see there's gold there, and there's a little bit of a little copper cover that's covering the rest of it there. So just pull that off so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so that's our gold, and again we have gold along here, and we'll have some little gold connectors along here. We have a nice little gold capped crystal oscillator, so that's fully golded up on top. Sometimes it's just a little ribbon around it, but this one has it completely covered in gold, which is a nice little find. The rest of the board, so we can see straight away I have some little gold connectors on this ribbon, and again I have little gold connectors, I'm sure, along this ribbon. Yeah, you can see them here, little gold connectors. So again, they can be cut off and put with your ribbons, your RAM fingers, but again I'll do this all separate on for mobile phones. So we'll just remove this. So again you can see gold along here, some gold flashing here, not much, but it's there, it all counts. So I'll just remove that covering, and you can see it underneath it. So that again I'll put for my gold ribbons, stuff like that. I'll deal with that separately. Let's just remove this, if I can get them off. We'll just rip them, doesn't matter, because they'll be ripped anyhow. So again we have gold along here on this ribbon. I don't think there's anything underneath that. Does it come apart from it? Sometimes they can come apart, that black stuff, and you might get a bit more underneath there, but it doesn't seem to on this one. So gold, and the last bit is, again as I said, the little gold ribbon here, and that's kind of it. The rest is the screen that I don't bother doing much with. Some people are holding on to the screens for future recovery from precious metals, so at the moment it's not really viable. It's a bit more work to get them out, but people are holding them and maybe waiting for someone to start buying them who'll do them en masse, and they might get a better price for them or something like that. So that's kind of it for this video. So I've just taken apart a few mobile phones there, and I have a lot more to do. I'd say I have another 300 mobile phones to do, but I just said I'd probably do a few of them when I'm on the live shows having the chat. I'll be doing them as I'm talking to people, doing a few other bits and pieces. So that's it for this video, guys. So make sure you give it a like, share it please. If you have Facebook or anything like that, or Twitter, please share it out, and hopefully in the next few weeks I'll have my setup fully finished, and we'll have more of the recovery of the actual gold, what people like to see, the acid dissolving of these gold coming off the boards, being dissolved in the acids, and being brought back as gold powder, and then eventually melted into little nuggets. So at least then I'll be able to give people a better idea, because I'm taking quantities and weights and stuff like that, so might be able to give people a better idea on how to do things. So give it a like, give it a share, and keep on looking for that gold, guys. Thanks for watching.